Well, where was there was somebody else there that was 99 years old besides you. Who was that?
The fellow from Troy Mills.
Oh, you didn't know him then?
Well, I didn't know him.
Oh, I thought you somebody you knew.
He's 3 months younger than I am.
Oh, really?
His birthday in December and mine's in September.
Uh-huh. September's a good month. That's when I was born. Few years, 50 years after
Well, I
you.
hope you make 100.
I don't know. I don't know. If I go downhill as much the next 50 years as I had this 50 years, I'll never make it.
Maybe you have to change your lifestyle, huh?
Maybe I'll retire so I can enjoy
Yeah,
it.
right.
That was a nice article in the Czech newspaper about you. But I understand that it wasn't your ox that died. It was somebody else's ox. Lewis is telling me that there was one mistake in that article. Was that
Well, I don't know. They've had so much written about me that I'm getting tired of it.
Yeah. Was that in the Czech paper?
Yeah.
What was that?
Emily said you're gonna leave town on your birthday.
I was going to.
Good idea, huh?
Yeah, the lady at the head of the food kitchen here in the dining room said we want you here on the afternoon of your birthday.
Yeah.
Opening downstairs in one of the lounges.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Serve ice cream and cake.
good. Oh, is that all?
Is there anybody else that's 100 here? Anybody else that's 100 years old here at the?
Well, there's a lady, 105,
Oh, my
in the
105?
goodness.
health center. She's in the health center.
Is that right, huh?
Has she been doing well until recently? Has she
She's
been-
the oldest one, and I don't think there's any others over 100. She's the only one.
You know, my dad is 106.
She is?
He'll be 107 in March.
He's dead?
Oh, really?
2nd of March, yeah.
Where's
My
he
dad.
live? Where?
Dubuque,
Dubuque?
Bethany Home. You heard of Bethany Home?
I heard of it, yeah.
Well, he's got
Is he in good
room
health?
there like yours, you know,
Yeah.
and he's everything-
Good.
He's got an apartment.
doing pretty good.
Enjoying fairly good health, huh?
Yeah, pretty good. Eyes are getting a little bad,
So
you know.
am mine.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to bring that article. Pete
I
wanted to
like
see
to
that.
read. When I read about 15, 20 minutes,
Uh-huh.
I drop the reading on the floor.
Yeah. Well, he can't read at all. I mean, he's that bad, you know. He can only see kind of out of the sides of his eyes, you know, sideways, you know.
Hmm.
Huh.
You know, we were talking last night about how much the world has changed in the last 100 years. You know, talking about having trouble getting back and forth to the college and places like that down there. And they just put that spaceship past Jupiter just the last couple of days.
Yeah.
And, you know, to see the starting of automobiles, see the airplanes, and see them space travel and see them going to outer space like that. It's just hard to believe all the changes you've seen in the.
Yeah.
In the
You
today's
just-
paper, they got a picture of the Neptune where they're on the opposite side of it
Yep.
already.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to believe.
All in just the time since he's been born
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
You know, you were, my gosh, when Henry Ford invented the car, that was 1895, my gosh, he was 6 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the earliest that you can remember anything? You ever thought about that? How the first thing you ever remember? How old were you when something you can remember way back?
Well, I can remember when I was 6 or 7 years
Can ya?
old. I remember when my grandfather died, I was about 6 years old.
Your grandfather, he came from the old country there.
Oh, yeah, I didn't.
You didn't know,
Oh.
huh? You were born here,
You know, my dad was,
Yeah.
come from the old country. He
Yeah.
was 9 years old.
yeah. Was he? When did they get here, about 1840 or something? That seemed to be about the big influx, that's when,
1845.
yeah, that's when my grandfather came.
1854 is when they come in.
Yeah,
He was born in 45,
yeah.
come here when he was 54.
Has any of your family had any contact with any of the people in the old country?
Well, my dad had some relatives there, but they, all they ever wrote, they asked for money.
I see.
Oh, yeah. So consequently, we
didn't have any.
Yeah. We didn't do much writing, did we? Yeah.
They wanted to send money so they could come here.
Yeah, I suppose.
Now, how long was it that after you lost contact with people over there? Was it, did they keep in contact over the years, or?
Oh, no. No, that's been, well, that must have been about 15 or 16 years old when
Okay.
they lost contact.
Okay, now did so your grandfather, so your father was born in the old
No.
country?
In the old country.
Okay, now, and all of his family was here, but your grandfather left his family there? Or you said that his
Well,
family
I
come
don't
here too?
know if he had any, he had some, maybe he had some brothers there, maybe that's his brother's family that was writing for him.
So that would have been,
But my dad couldn't write very good, and he'd have a fellow that was working in a bank here in Cedar Rapids that would write the letters for him.
okay. So, let's see, so Joseph, in the right file, no wonder it wasn't right. Okay, so your grandfather was Joseph Zvacek, and your mother's father was Joe Philippi.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, did they, both sets of grandparents come from the old country?
I think they did, yes.
Okay, they were married when they came.
Came, yeah.
Okay. And are you aware of any of their family that was left in the old country?
Who?
Are you familiar with any of their family that was left in the old
No,
country?
I don't think so.
Okay.
They all came over here, huh?
Yeah.
Now see,
My grandfather brought all his children
He did?
on the boat here,
Huh.
see, Uncle Charlie's,
yeah. They went on
well, was your mother,
a flagship. They were on the ocean 6 weeks
Yeah.
to get here.
Yeah.
That's a long time, isn't it?
your,
Sailboat. Probably.
your father was born in village Telea, Tile, in Bohemia. Now, was your mother born there too? Was she born here?
He was born in the old country.
Your mother was too?
Mother was too. She was a year old when she came here.
Okay, she was a year old. Okay.
You gotta put some of those things down.
You get a video, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And then, okay, she was a year old when she was a year old when she came here.
Talking.
She was your mother was a year old when she
Year old
came
when
here
she
from
came
Bohemia.
here.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, Dad used to say that they run out of water on the boats.
They'd run out of water?
They was getting awful short of water, yeah.
That one was 6 weeks on there.
They said that for about 10 days, there wasn't a breath of air on them. Just the water was just like a looking glass.
Hmm.
were getting
Sad.
short of water and food. They were spearing these, what do they call these follow boats, you know?
The porpoises?
Yeah,
Shark?
porpoise.
Porpoise, yeah.
Spearing them and eating.
It's hard to
You
believe.
had to do something, I guess, so you had to get low on food.
Sure couldn't shoot skeet out there, could they? Like they do nowadays. We got a lot of the translations, a lot of the gravestones we went out and looked at this morning. All of the dates are in Czech, and Uncle Charlie had to translate the dates from Czech to English.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Huh.
Emily has forgotten how to translate it.
Yeah, you gotta keep using that language.
Yeah. So that she gave away her dictionary to somebody.
Good thing you got it, because I won't be here too long.
Probably another 100 years.
Boy, you're looking better than my father, I'll tell you that.
You still smoke cigars?
Oh, yeah.
See, that's what keeps
That's
you.
why.
I tell you, there's something to those cigars.
That does it.
Yeah.
I chew on them. I don't smoke them. I chew on a cigar.
We had a
You
family
do?
doctor for about 30 years, and he just marveled at my health.
Yeah.
Every time I'd come there, he said, "How do you do it?"
Yeah.
I said, "Well, I smoke cigars and eat good and sleep good."
Yeah, like a little pie stingle once in a while?
Not very much.
No, well.
I like beer,
Do you?
yeah, in hot weather.
Yeah.
I don't care for it in cold weather.
Yeah.
I haven't had any beer for a couple of years, I don't think.
You can't send out for it here, huh?
You can go out and buy it in the grocery store.
There you go. They won't bring it to you though.
No.
Can't order it on your dinner tray, huh?
Well, I-
So these women would find out anybody drinking beer, they think it's terrible.
Yeah. These Methodists, I'll tell you, they're pretty straight-laced, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, we noticed when we were looking in the county records yesterday, that they had Tilly's record, on her birth record, it was Adelaide, A-T-E-L-I-E. Now,
Ottilia, that's the,
Ottilia?
that's the Bohemian way of, Ottilia,
That's spelling, now does she go as Tilly, T-I-L-L-Y? or
Tillie.
I-E, okay. Now, Henry died at he died what, in
82 or 92.
92, okay. Now, he was down as Jindrich. Is that a translation for Henry?
Henry, yeah.
Okay. There was another one that was out there that was spelled differently. Got so many notes here that I haven't got translated yet.
That like bothers my eyes.
Yeah, that is kind of, do you want me to pull it down?
Pull the drapes down.
Oh,
Drapes,
the drapes across, I guess.
yeah.
You know, that probably would have been a better thing, because I could see glare from the glasses.
Yeah.
That better?
That's better. A little more in. That's it.
Now, let's pull up that blind and behind it.
I think there's still enough light.
Yeah.
Years have you been here?
It'll be 15 years next month.
My goodness, wow.
And when was this building built? Were you?
You were here.
It's 27 years ago.
Yeah, I thought.
Okay.
It's been a long time ago.
Do you remember?
Yeah, yeah, we were here at the grand opening. When it first opened, we
Yeah.
came here.
Well, I didn't watch for the.
You weren't
I
here
didn't-
then.
I didn't know, I never saw the place until we got ready to move here.
Yeah. Let's see, now you lived, over by Beaver Park somewhere, wasn't it?
No,
Southeast side there.
southeast on 6th Avenue and 1500 block.
Oh, is that where it was? Yeah.
How long did you live there?
Over 60 years.
60 years there, huh?
I
Wow.
built the house there.
Oh, is that right?
Oh. I was surprised I couldn't remember you working for that, Lindback Lumber.
Yeah.
Uh-huh, and I can remember my dad and I going there. And now that I remember it,
Bookkeeper.
Well, I've done everything. Unload lumber and bookkeeping. Those days, there was no, you had to work.
Yeah, yeah.
there were no
When there
separate
was something
jobs.
to do, you were
Yeah.
supposed to help.
Uh-huh.
Well, so we started talking about it a while ago. What else can you remember when you were a child? You know, things that went on and, you know, big things that was big in those early years that you can think of, you can remember.
Oh, about the only thing I remember is going to school.
You go on a horse or what?
Oh, we had about
Walk.
a mile and 3/4 to go.
Mm-hmm.
Walked it.
Walk.
What school was it? What was the name?
Prairie Ridge School.
Where, in Ely? There?
No, it was, on the road that goes to the church,
Oh.
straight up towards Cedar Rapids, up on the hill there,
Oh.
about 2 miles from church.
Uh-huh. And you had, I suppose, dirt roads and...
Dirt roads.
Mm-hmm. And nothing much around it, huh?
And in the wintertime, when there was a lot of snow, we'd walk across, we wouldn't have to go across on the road, make it on the corner, we'd cross across the fields
Oh, uh-huh.
on top of the frozen snow.
When you weren't doing chores on the farm, what'd you do for fun?
I didn't have any time for it.
No time for
No
fun?
fun.
Worked all the time.
Everybody got a job.
Yeah.
Where did you meet your wife?
I met her in our church,
In the church? Mm-hmm. What was the name of the church?
Huss Memorial.
Huss Memorial, yeah, I remember that. Uh-huh.
When's the first time you saw an airplane? You remember?
Oh, shortly after Wright Brothers,
Is the open plane like the,
they had the plane with no cabin, it was
Just the
set
wings.
out in the open. They had a-
similar to the
They had
Wright
an
Brothers?
amusement park here, and about 4 years after the plane was perfected so they could run, they had one of those first planes here to show.
Did they fly it in or bring it in on a train or something, or?
I don't know how they did
That was the forerunner to the barnstorming days, probably, wasn't it?
it. Yeah.
Huh. Where'd they fly that? Did they fly the plane for
They
demonstration?
planned it for, they demonstrated at the fairground.
At the fairgrounds?
Oh. Hawkeye Downs, probably.
I saw it when they demonstrated.
Hmm,
See, what year
He
would
didn't
that
fly
be?
very far.
no. Huh.
What year would that have been? 19?
I
Bill?
wouldn't know.
Bill, what year
Well, I
was
was
it?
about 20 or 22 years old, I guess.
Would that have been in the 20s sometime.
When did your family get the first car?
I got mine in 1916,
1960. What was it?
Ford
Ford?
Model A.
Model A Ford.
Was it black?
No, it was it was black, but it had brass trimming over the radiator, brass lamps.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
That was kind of fancy, wasn't it?
Spring, they come out with a new model without any brass or anything for $370.
Oh.
Same thing only.
My dad said the first car he ever got was a Ford Runabout. It would run about 20 miles, then you had to push it.
Now, was that your car or your dad's car, or the car you're speaking of that you bought 1914, you said? 1916?
Yeah.
That was your own car?
Yeah,
Now, did your folks have a car before then?
no. I was the first one.
You're the first one?
First one in the family to have a car.
Huh.
Where were you working that you could?
Lindback Lumber
Oh, you
Company.
worked there. Mhm. And that was before, of course, you were married, wasn't
Oh,
it?
yeah.
What year were you married?
15.
50. You mean 1915? No, the car, you got the car a year after you were married then, huh?
The year after I was married.
Uh-huh. Did you go on a honeymoon?
Not right away. I had to wait till I had a vacation.
Yeah. Where'd you go then?
We went to Minneapolis.
Minneapolis. In the summer, I hope.
Yeah, it was in August.
In August. You go fishing?
No, my wife's mother had a cousin living there, and she had a cousin, or a cousin living in Austin, and so we made it up to Austin the first day.
Well, back in those years, any problem on finding gas for the car?
Oh no, they had,
Plenty of gas stations?
oh yes,
And how much was it a gallon?
I think it was about 16 or 17 cents a gallon.
Wow.
Huh. You know, I can remember back in the late 40s that we used to buy gas under 20 cents a gallon.
Yeah. You know, when we moved to Munster about 18 years ago, they were having a gas war, and it was 26 cents a gallon.
Oh, my goodness.
We couldn't believe it. It just so happened they were having a gas war.
When we first used to go to Florida, we used to try and get St. Louis without filling up. They always had a gas war around St. Louis. We used to get gas for 24, 25 cents a gallon. Other places it was 28, 29 cents.
How many miles to the gallon did you get on those cars?
Well, that is, we had Studebakers then.
Oh, Studebakers, uh-huh. See, they were made in Indiana, weren't they? Is that?
I'd have to get maybe 4 or 5 gallons Keokuk or somewhere before we got there. But we'd get about 8 or 10 gallons after we got there.
Yeah. Must not have had a very big tank. Those were heavy cars in those days, weren't they?
No, they were
Were they
small
light?
cars.
Small?
The generator are the same. Just after the car starts, it becomes a generator. And that's when it has the gear shift upside down.
Yeah.
And then I've got one of my great uncle's 1929 Dodge 4-door sedan. Both of them needs to be restored yet. That's quite a heavy car.
Where did they make the Studebaker?
Where did they make the Studebaker?
Fort
Dillard?
just out of Chicago, where the Catholic College is.
Yeah, South Bend.
South
South
Bend.
Bend.
I thought that's where it was, somewhere in Indiana.
But you didn't have any of the Packard Studebakers then, huh? After Packard bought them, you didn't have any of those?
No,
Because that was back in what, the late 40s, early 50s, I think, is when Packard bought them, wasn't it?
the Packards were, they called them a funeral car.
Yeah.
All the undertakers had
Yeah.
Packards.
See, Packard bought Studebaker late in their years, as I remember.
That was a good car though.
Yeah.
I remember the DeSoto too. DeSoto.
But Chrysler had now.
Yeah. But that was in the mid-50s when they quit making Packards, as I remember. And right at the very last, Packard bought Studebaker, and they built a Packard Studebaker for a year or so. They didn't last very long either. I think that's when Studebaker come out.
They quit making their own motors. Studebaker did. They bought their engines from General Motors.
Oh, was it?
And it wasn't a car after that.
Yeah.
That's when I quit buying them. I had a 8 President Studebaker. After I got about 60,000 miles, I traded it on a Toyota.
A Toyota?
Toyota.
Really? That was your first foreign car?
Yeah,
What year was that?
I don't remember.
I didn't even know they
Oh.
had Toyota. then.
Yeah, Toyota, they started importing them in the early sixties, wasn't it? So they had been probably in the early
This
sixties?
was in the early
Oh.
sixties.
Yeah. They've been importing foreign cars for years.
Oh,
Well, that's, my brother-in-law, when he had the Studebaker agency, when the Studebakers closed down, then he took the Toyota agency.
Now, who was that had the agency? That was your brother? What?
Frank, my brother-in-law, John Cutlitz.
Okay. Okay. Oh, something else I wanted to ask you. Back in the days of your courting, what did you do besides church activities? You know, for your courting, picnics and things like that.
Picnics, yeah.
But you couldn't go. That was before you had a car. You couldn't go for Sunday afternoon drive unless you went in the horse and
Well,
buggy.
they used to have an interurban, and they used to have picnic grounds in 2 or 3 places between here and Iowa City.
Oh, really?
And they could, people get a party and have a picnic to some of the parks.
Just alongside the road? Is that what it was?
Right along the highway,
Uh-huh.
on the railroad.
Well, you did it on the railroad. You'd get off the train then.
Yeah,
So the train basically ran as like a bus line would be then.
we'd, sometimes if there was a big bunch, we used to have 40, 50. We'd have put a special car
Oh, really?
to go take you there.
Huh. Now that's back in the course in was that the steam engine days, or was there a kind of a different? Whether it was a steam engine, what it was pulled in
No, there's electric.
electric, like a trolley would be then, more like a trolley then.
Yeah, we had electric service here to Waterloo, Mount Vernon, and Iowa City.
Oh, I see. Huh.
I think I went on it once too.
Did you?
Uh-huh. Used to enjoy that. It used to rock back and forth.
I used to like to go to ball games too, and take it on Sunday. They'd have a special, Iowa, Cedar Rapids was playing Waterloo. There'd be a bunch go on the interurban for 40 cents to go to that.
Oh, really?
Waterloo.
Was it busy? Did a lot of people ride it?
Oh,
Did
yes.
they? Huh.
Then they used to have, once in a while, we'd go to see the game at Chicago, and Northwestern was running those trains about every 3 hours. There'd be a passenger train and going there, and they'd have a special train that come through here at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Hold it still.
Go to Chicago and get a round trip ticket for $4.40
Wow.
to go to a ball game.
I forgot the key.
That would make it a lot easier. That would really make it a lot easier. But I tell you what, though, if this keeps going on and on and on, there's no place to stop. Just, I tell you what, your
Well,
family's a
there
lot
aren't
bigger.
so many births nowadays, so
Yeah,
That's true.
it'll get better, won't it?
But the births that's happening today aren't as interesting as what happened, 100 years ago. And most of our family only has maybe 2 or 3 children. And tell you what, you guys really fill up the page here. Is all I can say. Of course, back in those days, I guess they had a lot of kids to help in the farm and do a lot of work. Everybody had a job, I'm sure, to keep busy.
Well, we think we gotta.
I'll probably get stuff stacked up here. Sure appreciate you doing this translating for me, and I probably ought to dig out
I hope I didn't give you any wrong numbers.
I'm sure you didn't. I probably ought to see if I can find Emily's Czech dictionary so I can know how to translate those dates myself, probably. I'll tell you
My
what,
mother might have it.
huh?
My mother might have it.
I was
think
really surprised, Lewis,
think
apparently he mowed that cemetery for years and years. And he just walked right over everywhere all over the cemetery. He right knew where everybody was at.
Oh, yes, he knows where everybody, Well, he used to take care of the lawn there.
That's what he said. After he retired, why, that's what he did for several years. But, we'd probably been out there a lot longer, but the rain kinda ran us off, so. So where are you gonna go to dinner tonight?
I don't know where they're gonna take me.
Maybe
We
talk-
went to Spring House last night. Have you been there?
That's a nice place.
Yeah, it
Yes,
is.
uh-huh.
Service was good, and the food was real good. Maybe you can talk him into, it's hot outside, maybe you can talk him into a beer tonight. Say you like beer when it's hot?
Oh, once in a while, I don't really, I got so that I don't care about liquor really.
Mm-hmm.
When my wife got sick, and the doctor prescribed a little brandy for her,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and she couldn't swallow, I thought maybe a little brandy would ease it off. So I still got some left over.
Do you? I remember my grandmother would never allow my granddad to have any liquor around the house. But when she got up in the 80s, the doctor told her to drink a glass of wine every evening to make her sleep better. And she liked her medicine pretty well. She enjoyed having that medicine. Even though she didn't approve of drinking, she didn't mind having a glass of wine for medicinal purposes.
long
We
as
had
it
a
was
fella here, he was in the 90s, he died at, he was 96 when he died. And his son was a doctor, and he'd come here, he was up in Minneapolis, and he'd come down here, about once a month, he'd come over the weekend. And he'd always tell him to take a shot before he goes to bed.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Yeah.
So whenever I went downtown, I had a car then, and he'd ask me to bring him a bottle of liquor.
When did you quit driving?
About 2 years ago.
2 years ago. But it's kind of hard to give the car up, wasn't it?
No.
You're through.
Well, I still passed the driver's test, but they wouldn't let me drive over 10 miles from home.
Yeah,
So what's the use of having a car?
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
And I know a fellow that worked for the Highway Commission pretty well, and he wanted to know if I was still driving. I told him no. He wanted to know why. I told him that I got a driver's license, but they wouldn't let me go 10 miles from home. He says, you should have gone to Marion, he says. You could be driving yet.
Yeah, probably so.
Mm.
Probably so.
They had a woman up here in town here. She was pretty strict. I asked her what the reason was. Old age,
Mm.
that's all she gave me.
That's just been 2 or 3 years ago then.
2 years ago.
Mm.
I went to get it renewed, and she wasn't gonna give me a license, so I could have got a license, but so I didn't spend no $5 for a license.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, it's difficult because, so many people, you get around and so much more spry than the average person is at 70 years old. And it's a shame that because there has to be some sort of a regulation on it, but age doesn't mean anything, just how able you are to handle an automobile. Is the shrine going to have any kind of celebration for your 100th birthday?
Well, I think there's some kind of a deal I'm supposed to go to a meeting on the 17th.
Our temple in Kansas City just had its 100th anniversary, and we had a guy that he was born the same month that the temple was established, but not the same day. And he was there like 6 months before our centennial, and he died about a month short of his 100th birthday. And they had a big celebration planned, and the ceremonial on that year was in his honor. It was named in his honor, and it was quite a deal.
one of the men here, that we have about 8 or 10 Shriners and consistory men
Barbara.
here. And about a year ago,
What are you
when I was
doing?
99, after I was 99 years old, he wanted me to go to the consistory. They had a party of couples, women, and they had a banquet program. And they introduced me
Now, is the consistory here, or is it in Des Moines?
here.
It's right here. But the temple is in Des Moines?
No, here.
The
We have a
shrine
temple
temple's here? Oh, okay, that was a shrine club. It's not a shrine club. The shrine
No, we
temple
have-
is here.
We have a temple
The
here.
temple is
Yeah,
here.
El Care Temple.
El Care, okay.
Here, yeah.
Okay. For some reason,
You
I was,
remember too.
Yeah, I was in the, yeah.
for some reason, I was thinking that there was a shrine club here, but this is a temple. This is jurisdiction's right here.
Yeah, they got one here, one at Davenport,
Sioux City,
and one at
Des
Sioux
Moines.
City and Des Moines, yeah.
4 temples.
4 temples in the state?
4 in the state.
Now, where is your central states there? Your area of your, see, we're central states.
California, Denver is the farthest west. Oklahoma City,
Kansas City is in,
Kansas City is
in the same, so
Central
you're part of
State.
central states too.
yeah.
See, our central states this year is in Kansas City, Kansas. That's where it's at this year. But I didn't remember that Iowa was in our jurisdiction.
Yeah, that's Iowa, Minnesota, and the Dakotas.
Okay. Okay.
I made a lot of trips to the Centennials.
Did you?
Yeah,
Yeah. I bet
I
you
was
did.
in the patrol.
What do you
Been to
guys
patrol,
want
foot
to do?
patrol?
We're gonna
Really?
stop
I'm in the
and do
greeters.
something on the way.
Do we all fit in? I bet we could for that short a distance. Yeah. You're gonna sit on, okay. That's kind of a neat van. That's one of those vans. Airfare.
We're coming up on, 1st of October.
Oh, are you? Good. Flying out Friday.
Friday the 13th.
I have to which airport? I forgot my gloves.
We can pay morning.
Oh, are you?